this is Nica and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be sharing with you my labor and delivery story. Since this is a labor and delivery story, I'm just going to give you a warning that there is going to be some TMI stuff. So yeah, let's just get started because I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes long. On the 25th of August, I actually had a fetal assessment at 11:30. When they went to check on Elijah, they saw that his fluid levels, water, amniotic, I don't know, some fluid levels were very, very low. So I was put on the induction list and I was put as a priority. At about 12, I was taken up to the high-risk unit in the hospital. So once we got there, we settled in. I ate lunch because I was starving. And at about 1, they hooked me up to the IV and they hooked Elijah up to like the fetal monitor and all that stuff. And yeah, they started me on a dose of oxytocin to try and get some contractions starting. At first I didn't really feel much, but then I slowly started feeling some slight discomfort and those were my contractions starting. Around 5 I was checked and I was at a 2, so they decided, that the oxytocin should work faster. So they gave me another dose and they also decided that they would insert a balloon type of thing to help me dilate faster, which was the most painful experience ever. I say that about everything that's painful, but like this hurt a lot. Malcolm said I screamed way more when they were putting the balloon in than I did in actual delivery and pushing and all that stuff. I screamed way more at the balloon being inserted, so that was funny. Then the contractions started really picking up, and I remember specifically this one time I went to the washroom and then I got up and then I felt something in between my legs. And I thought it was Elijah's umbilical cord and he was in the toilet, so like my stomach just like dropped and I was like and then I looked back and I was too scared to look back, so I just like forced myself to look back to check if he was in the toilet. He wasn't. That was just my mucus plug. TMI, but it happens unexpectedly. I know some of you moms can relate. So they checked me and I was at a 5 and a 6. It was kind of iffy, they said. So yeah, they inserted more fluid into the balloon, which was so uncomfortable. So by this time I was already feeling the real contractions. Like these were so painful, they took my breath away. So the nurse offered me an epidural, which I refused because I really wanted a natural birth, and I was said no, I can do this, I can go longer, I'm fine without it. So yeah, then they offered me some laughing gas and I was like okay with it because I needed something to take the edge off, but I didn't want to get an epidural. So yeah, they offered me some laughing gas and that actually helped a lot. At around 6:30 they checked me again and I was still at a 5 or a 6, and then they asked if I wanted another epidural because I had been in a lot of pain for a long time, and I was in unbearable pain. Like the contractions at this point weren't stopping. So I said yeah, okay. So I gave up on the natural delivery, started the epidural. They got one guy to come in and he tried 2 times and he couldn't get it. And just to tell you, if you're expecting and if you're worried about the epidural, if you choose to get one, your epidural, that pain does not compare to the labor pain. Let me tell you, like, oh my goodness, those contractions. The first guy didn't get it like twice, and I overheard him say that he was tired, that's why he didn't do it. Which really stressed me out. I mean, I didn't need to get poked like 2 times with that big needle. And it's a really weird feeling. It kind of feels like you're being like winded up like a I don't know, like they're winding something up back there. Just a weird feeling. And then they got another guy to come in, and you know, it was a fresh anesthesiologist, so he got it right away. I felt some relief for maybe about 10 minutes. I was able to get a little bit of shut-eye, but then all of a sudden this like big rush of pain just came back. They said that that was basically a failed epidural. Also, my contractions overpowered the epidural, which was not fun. So by this time the contractions were very extreme, and of course they didn't stop. So then the doctor came in and checked me. I was still at a 5 and a 6, but I was kind of leaning towards a 7, so I was dilating, but they said that I was, well, the doctor came in and he, you know, said, we're going to have to give you an emergency C-section. We're gonna have to put you to sleep because I don't think you're strong enough to push. And I was very sad. This one nurse was really nice, and she stood up and she said, you know, I can get, you know, just give me 20 minutes, we can get her ready to deliver this baby naturally. And the doctor wasn't convinced, but you know, she just talked him into it, and all the nurses and that doctor left, and it was just me, the nurse, and my mom, you know, talked. I was still in excruciating pain, so I was like crying on the bed. She got a new gown for me, and she changed my bedding. You know, she wiped down my legs because labor is not pretty. Then we're just talking, and I was in so much pain, like I could barely talk. She said, you know, let's try to move you on your left side because you've been on your right side all day. Maybe that'll trigger something. So then I moved on my left side, and I felt some relief, like for a little bit. But then all of a sudden, I felt this sudden urge to push. Like, I can't explain the feeling. It happened all of a sudden. I was like, I have to push, I have to push. I feel like I have to push. And I was like still like sobbing and like crying. It must have been so embarrassing. Anyways, so then that nurse checked me and she was like, oh my gosh. And apparently Elijah was already like starting to crown. Then like she ran out and got all the other, she got that doctor, and then like a bunch of people came in, and then she was like, look, she's ready to push this baby out. And then he was like, okay, fine, okay. And then they put my legs on those things. I don't know what they're called, but like, you know. And then as they were putting my legs on the thing, that's when Malcolm came in. So I had Malcolm and my mom by my side. They just told me to start pushing, and they're still getting everything ready. They're getting the room ready because I don't think they thought I was going to be able to do a VBAC. So yeah, I started pushing. I pushed with no guidance actually. She just told me to push what I needed to, so I just pushed. Apparently I pushed for about 15 minutes until he was out. And during the process, he did a lot of damage down there. I remember at one point I was pushing and the delivery doctor told me to stop. No, 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 stop, stop. And I was like, no, I have to push. And then I kept pushing, and then he had to perform a quick episiotomy, which was so painful. Like I remember feeling just like warm liquid, like just like, and that was like a lot of blood. And then he was out. Malcolm said that once Elijah got to like his cheeks, he just like slipped out, and yeah, he was born. So after he was born, they immediately took him away just to check if he was okay, and in the meantime I had to get stitched up because I was left with 3rd-degree tears, which was so painful. I felt every stitch. Even with the numbing needle, you still feel everything. What was really annoying was they got some intern to do it, so she kept messing up, and eventually that delivery doctor just had to come in and like stitch me up really quick. That was so painful. This is Elijah, and he was born on December 26, 2016. He's looking at the studio light. And he weighed 8 pounds, 13 ounces. He was born at 9 o'clock in the morning. was 22 inches, and yeah, he's a perfectly healthy boy. He's very strong and very curious. He's looking at the studio like, oh. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how your labor and delivery went if you're a mommy. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to our next one, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Come on, say bye! Or are you too busy looking at the studio like? Okay, bye!